the car. No one was killed, amazingly. Police are still trying to figure out how and why the woman ended up driving into the crowd. Jerry Sandusky could be examined by a prosecution psychologist. The examination is the result of a court order Friday allowing the defense to introduce testimony on whether Sandusky suffers from a mental disorder.
The former Penn State assistant football coach is on trial for child rape charges. Susan Candiani has a preview of what to expect when the prosecution rests tomorrow.
For 4 days, jurors heard prosecutors set out to prove Jerry Sandusky is a serial predator, raping and molesting 10 boys. Come Monday, the defense takes center stage. After a week of listening to withering testimony from and about 10 alleged victims, Jerry Sandusky began and ended nearly every day with a smile on his face. His lawyer is trying to be upbeat.
Every day's hard.
Have you decided?
It's tough work.
Tough work defending a man who himself is a legend for designing defense on the football field. Criminal defense attorney Ron Kuby says Sandusky has an uphill battle.
There's a tsunami of evidence against him.
Sandusky's strategy is expected to attack the timeline of repeated alleged sexual assaults raised during cross-examination by pointing out conflicts with Sandusky's schedule. The defense is also expected to further question whether alleged victims were motivated to come forward by possible lucrative lawsuits. Nonsense, says Howard Janet, attorney for alleged victim 6.
Does that mean that none of them are telling the truth because they've gone to hire a lawyer? That's absurd.
Sandusky's wife Dottie appeared briefly in court the first day, but stayed away the rest of the time, indicating she's expected to take the stand to defend her husband.
What is his wife going to say in his defense unless she was in the shower with him and the various young boys, which obviously she wasn't. She has, as far as I can see, nothing to offer this case outside of some sort of plea for sympathy.
The defense also plans to bring in a psychologist to explain love letters Sandusky wrote to alleged victims. In court papers, the defense indicates the letters were not part of a predator's grooming technique, but indicative of someone suffering from a histrionic personality disorder who wanted to make himself more endearing to the boys in his charity.
Are you looking forward to presenting your case?
A gag order's preventing Sandusky from talking now, and he isn't required to testify, but the defense promised jurors they'd hear from Sandusky.
The only chance he has is to take the witness stand, and just maybe he can convince one juror to hold out.
Will he or won't he take the stand? Ultimately, Sandusky must decide whether he wants to look jurors in the eye and face prosecutors armed with tough questions of their own. Susan Candiani, CNN, Bellefonte, Pennsylvania.
Parents, it's 10 o'clock. Do you know where your children are? Live